I know I'm now going to Austin and I'm presenting, okay, Steve, this is what bro, I knew, Chris, I can't give this guy crap.
What's going on, everybody? Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of Writing with Russo. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, that guy is, yes, absolutely. He is Vince Russo. How are you tonight, my man?
I'm doing all right, doctor. How are you, my friend?
I am blessed, my guy. I'm blessed, man. Perseverant, prosperous, and everything in between. So listen, man, look, we're going to have a little trip down memory lane. I know that you have your Raw kind of retro, right, that you do on your channel, going back to the Attitude Era, which you had a lot to do with so many of those Raw episodes, and you specifically had a lot to do specifically with the Royal Rumble 1998 and 1999. All right, you were a big contribution of the writing team, the head writing team, back in those 2 years of the Royal Rumble. So in 1998, see, this is going to be fun. On the road to WrestleMania events, I want to pick the brain of Vince Russo of 23 and 24 years ago of Austin McMahon saga. All right, we saw Steve Austin win his second straight Royal Rumble back in 1998. We'll start with 1998. Vince Russo, kind of give us the mindset of Vince Russo during this time, as far as Austin winning, the conversations you had with Austin. Where were you at, and why was Austin, in your head, the chosen pick for the 1998 Royal Rumble on the road to WrestleMania?
Chris, there's two elements that I do not believe are being used at all today in professional wrestling. And they are two very simple elements, okay? First of all, bro, let's talk about the writing process. Chris, when you have well-defined characters, and what I mean by well-defined characters is, bro, when I'm writing this show, as I'm writing for these characters, I am these characters. I know their traits. I know what they would do. I know what they would say being put in any position, okay? Chris, here's the key. When you have well-defined characters, bro, these shows write themselves because, you know, we have a Monday Night Raw. Austin's going to be Austin. Vince is going to be Vince. Sean's going to be Sean. Everybody's going to be true to their character. So what happens, Chris, is you just let the storylines organically roll out. Like, this is really happening. This is happening in real life. Like, say you and I, Chris, say we ended this show where we have a knockdown, drag out fight argument. Okay, when we do our next show, we're going to react off of the argument. So we're really talking about real life and real people. So with that, bro, the show writes itself. Then, bro, the second key element that nobody is manipulating correctly today is the numbers and the ratings. And what I mean by that, Chris, is I would get minute by minute ratings of what the number was for every single minute of the show. So you could see who was in the ring or what segment was happening when the numbers spiked. And when they dipped, you saw that too. So all you did, Chris, was where the numbers went up, you gave them more of that. Where the numbers dipped, you eliminated that and gave them less. So at the end of the day, Chris, if you're giving the viewer more of what they want and less of what they don't want, bro, of course the number's going to go up.
Yep.
It's going to. This is not rocket science.
Right.
So going back to the '98 Rumble, Austin was red hot. The people were telling us Austin was red hot. We were going to allow him to win the Rumble, and then Chris, we literally went from pay-per-view to pay-per-view.
Okay.
That's like in '98 when Austin's winning the Rumble, bro, we don't know Vince is winning the Rumble the next year. We don't know that. That writes itself.
For sure. Yeah.
That's what's missing today, Chris.
Yeah. Very interesting. And so to your point, I think it was clear that, the hottest name of all of professional wrestling at the time was Stone Cold Steve Austin. So it only made sense for him to win the Royal Rumble. Now, going into WrestleMania in 1998, from that Rumble to WrestleMania pocket, you say you wrote from pay-per-view to pay-per-view. What was your mindset going into the next February pay-per-view as far as WrestleMania is concerned? Did you have that in the back of your mind?
Chris, really, no. I swear to God, bro, it's people really don't understand. And when I say it, they don't believe me. And I'm telling you, bro, this wrote itself. We organically just let it play out because, Chris, back then, bro, I'll tell you what was a big advantage to me. Nobody knew who Vince Russo was back then. So, Chris, aside from the ratings, I would spend time in the crowd. And the reason I was in the crowd was I wanted to hear the reaction of the house. Yep. So now when you go back after a show, you've got all the tools. You got the reaction of the house. You see where they popped. You see where there was no response. And then your ratings come in that give you the numbers and the information Then you take all that information and you start crafting the next show. Mm-hmm. And, because, bro, if, Eric and I always used to butt heads because Eric was a firm believer in a story arc and we had to know stuff 6 months out. Bro, you can't do that in wrestling. First of all, people are getting injured, bro. Yeah. So you're going to sit there and waste time writing stuff 3 months out, 6 months out. When if somebody gets hurt, it's out the window. Yeah. You got guys getting injured, bro. You've got contract disputes. Yeah. You've got guys in the doghouse where all of a sudden Vince doesn't want it. There are so many things that come into play that it doesn't allow for long-term planning, bro. It's really just a massive waste of time.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see, for me, being a old school fan, I can see the benefit of both of them working from the end backwards. I think that there's some benefit to that if you're confident that the fans will continue to be enthralled in the character and the story. Now, the story for the Attitude Era, what I saw with Austin, it was just so red hot that you really couldn't afford to do some long thing. You just had to really play it by ear.
Right.
That was the attitude. That was Austin McMahon in a nutshell. I mean, it was really kind of playing it by ear, and I do appreciate that type of approach to booking as well, because at the end of the day, you're writing for the reaction of the crowd anyways. So if they
also keep this in mind, Chris, you're writing week to week to keep him red hot.
Correct.
If it's June and Austin's red hot, I don't know if Austin's going to be red hot in January. I mean, who knows? But so what you're doing is every week you're keeping him hot, red hot. He's going to put cement in Vince's truck. He's going to drive in the beer truck. He's going to save stuff. You got to keep him red hot. You got to keep the momentum going. And, bro, you and I discuss this every week on Raw. Big E's here. Biggie's here.
Yep.
Drew's here.
Yep.
Drew's here.
Yep.
No, bro, you got to keep them hot.
Yeah, that's a fantastic point because you can see the difference because one thing I did like about the Austin era is that regardless you made sure that the writing was locked on Austin, and you made it a challenge to yourself. And you can just tell within the WWE at the time, you made the challenge to yourself to make sure that there's going to be some type of nuance that's going to keep Austin in the fold, keep him in the main event level, keep the fans locked in.
And Chris, you know what it was too? And I don't believe this exists today either, bro. Bro, Austin was such a pro, and he was so protected of his character and everything he did. Chris, I know I'm now going to Austin and I'm presenting, okay, Steve, this is what bro, I knew, Chris, I can't give this guy crap. I can't, this has to be at the level that Austin wants it to be. This can't go in being, mediocre. And no, bro, I couldn't do that to him. Yes. So that's why I'm saying, bro, before I even approached him, I had to know, okay, bro, he's going to be cool with this. Yeah. Again, bro, like we talk about today's product, and man, how am I going to approach Big E with this? And how am I going to approach you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say there was a fear, but there was a respect that, bro, I'm not going to give you garbage, man.
For sure. Because people were so, the Austins, the Foleys, the Takers, they knew how much they were giving, how much of an asset they were to the business. And we talk about this all the time. People feel like they're a liability. Like it's that liability factor. It's like there's only probably less than a handful of people. I can even think of right now, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. Really, everybody else is really expendable. People can throw Lashley in there, but he's been up and down too. So it hasn't been consistent with him either. It's really only been Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. So you have two people out of 60, 70 talent that feels large in life. And one of them, Brock Lesnar, isn't even in this era. He's just a commodity. He's just a special attraction. You really only have Roman Reigns this whole era right now.